Hey ladies and gentlemen, how you guys been doing? It's your boys here, and as I mentioned in the previous episode, we have talked about all the feedback you guys have left regarding my Let's Play, which will be coming up tomorrow. And for right now, I've decided I will be specifically thanking the two new donators that just recently left a donation, and I will gonna go directly to their full names so I don't make a mess up, complication here. So Joshua Joyner was the first one to donate yesterday. Thank you very much, Joshua. I will mention where all this donation is going towards, what specific component, help of your sorts have given to me, and make it clear, because once the PC is done, I'm gonna make a video of it. You're not gonna see me build a PC. Well, I'm gonna be honest, lately, going back, no, I'm just gonna first of all thank the donators. We're gonna go into that a little bit later. So Patrick Noel was another person that donated. Now I know Patrick, I have him on Facebook, but he's been around, he's been supporting for so long. Thanks Patrick again, like a million times over now at this point. But seriously, man, you've been really just showing kindness over and over and over again. And I'm kind of like, when a person, like, when you actually support somebody and keep on like support, it's like it's really hard to not feel, it's heartwarming, but at the same time you're kind of killing my words here. You got no words to really say outside of thank you. So basically, but seriously, I do see it and I do recognize your name. So anyways, thank you to the both of you. I already mentioned the first donator, that was Miguel Megamogwa yesterday. Still, I want to say directly where this is going, but before that, I want to say that lately, you guys have, not you guys, but more like general change of my computer has really shown to me again that old feelings for what I had. Those desire, like, I freaking love building computers. I freaking love hardware. I love components. Building a computer for me is like, let's put it this way. Building a computer for me is like a candy for a 10-year-old. It's like ice cream to a 10-year-old. You gave me a computer to build, even if I'm not gonna use it. You gave me a computer to build, and I build it for you. It's like you just gave me Legos when I was 10-year-old, like trying to build something out of it. But I'm gonna get, like, for example, I'm gonna gain some profit out of this, or maybe just general enjoyment. It is what I freaking love. And this old feelings kind of come back to me, and this is why I take the school that I take, because again, computers is my life. Computers are my love. Well, they're not my love, but they do come close. Still, again, the one thing I do recognize on the internet is that professionalism. That's also a thing that I want to be, that professional guy, that expert that actually knows what he's talking about. So people that didn't have the time to get involved, they didn't really learn about the things they have while using stuff. People know what they're using, but they don't really know what they have in there, the hardware they have in there. So I want to be that person to kind of guide them, but not guide them too far, because it's the reason that people have the jobs they have is because of the lack of knowledge that the others have, that they need them to kind of, guide them. But in that case, I am kind of sort of glad, how hardware and all this programming sites and websites, in general internet work that people have, but outside of that, typical components, how they're upgrading every 6 months is incredible. There is so much processor, there's so much graphic cards, there's so many combinations you could go with, but again, as I mentioned, there's people that don't have this kind of time to kind of get to know the new technology. But anyways, with that being said, I want to directly showcase showcase my graphic card that I've used. It's been actually sent to me by Daniel Logan from Australia. My friend from Australia sent me this card, and basically this was after I was using my Sapphire 6850 card, which was a very good one. But this one, like, I have to give a shout out for this one. Okay, you have to see this card right here, right? This card, you guys can see this, it's got two ventilation systems here installed, I believe, basically for the name, it's an overclock edition, and the card is 5 years old. Now you may imagine 2011, like, what will a card like this do in today's era? And I was blown away. Like, this card can still manage to handle the newer games. Now I'm not talking about high settings, but for a game that's 5 years old, it really shows performance pure buck, quality over quantity. And this game, this video card, this GPU used to be around $400, and that's a lot. But looking at the cost and the years in and the performance, it still holds. While you can get this card for like $70 now, $70 used, it's so worth it. It's ridiculous because like most of the meat cards, it will showcase there are some high-end cards that will be worth all the buck you put into it, because it's gonna go years in and it's not gonna slow down like some of these meat cards will. You know, I've been owning some of the meat cards and they were incredible cards that last for like 2 years, 3 years, no problem. But then it really started to really buckle. And this one's, it really showcases you sometimes these expensive, very expensive cards are still worth it, because 5 years in, still playing the newest games, that's ridiculous, you know. So that's way above, like 5 years, like even, you know, let's be honest here, at some point Nvidia would be thinking, yeah, let's not make such a strong card, because, you know, we want people to keep on buying the new things, new technology things. So I'm really surprised by the performance of this card, and I can only praise it. That's why I'm taking this time to say GTX 560. This card is incredible. It's a 1 GB memory card also, but that's not that impressive. But 2011, that was quite impressive. Still, with that, I want to say the donation that was put into it by Joshua Joyner, as well as Patrick Noyle, Miguel, also all of you guys that helped me. I'm gonna make it clear, RAM, 8 GB of RAM, DDR3 I believe, will be picked for the newest motherboard that will be arriving. With the newest motherboard, I have to look for the processor as well, because the socket is new, and basically I have the old Phenom 2 X4940 Black Edition, which is great for overclocking. It's actually quite impressive if you overclock it to a degree of like 4,000 you know, base power. But in that case, you know, I'm still gonna need to upgrade with an upgraded motherboard. I'm gonna need to upgrade the CPU. But the case is coming in, the motherboard is coming in, RAMs are coming in, and SSD is coming in. SSD is going to be very important for rendering time, for Windows time. SSDs are the, you know, when comparing to the hard drives, they're silent. You know, they don't run, they don't spin. They are efficient, they're fast, they're smooth. They help you know, they fix gaming lag, I heard, and general speed of it is incredible. You put Windows on that one, it's gonna go like crazy. You're gonna take like 15 seconds to get in, when a hard drive it takes forever, especially on this one. Now I've realized that what I've been doing, especially with this card, like on a mini case, you know, a mini case isn't that impressive. It can only store 1 graphic card, but looking at this is a pretty big graphic card for its age. I'm pretty sure there's bigger ones, but it's still a pretty big graphic card. And putting this card into a case that only supports mini motherboards, mini ATX, you know, motherboards, that's a bit of a sin, you know. That's a bit of like choking it, you know. I'm just there and just choking it basically. So that place was way too tight to even consider. So I definitely have to change the case, which I did get myself not to, you know, the case is one thing. I'm not going to spend too much into it, but again, I'm going to showcase all the things that I've gotten right now. RAM, motherboard are the things that will be getting in, as well as the case. RAM must be replaced anyways. They have to be replaced in a new motherboard that supports them, because the old stuff basically cannot be supported by the newer motherboard anyways. And the processor that must come in. The processor, I still have to think what kind of processor I should get, because I want, you know, I want performance, I want quality to be worth every buck that is put into it. You know, I don't want to be spending your money that was definitely given to me to help me build my computer, just, you know, to be spending like recklessly. So I want to think about every situation to get myself quality, medium build, hopefully. but that's still going to be depending on the GPU, which is the graphic card, which will be coming in afterwards. I think that the GPU, I'm definitely not gonna change it now. This card can definitely go for a while longer, but after a while I'm definitely gonna change it because the CPU is new and I'm gonna need to think about upgrading just the general whole thing after that. So, but for now I think that the GPU is fine as it is. So basically, what can I say? The SSD card is 240 Toshiba. Basically it's gonna be fast. I cannot wait to put my Windows 10 on that because generally from what I heard, it's like, I never used an SSD, but from what I heard, the experience, the performance is so much better that I'm kind of bit eager to see what the performance is like. I saw it, but want to see it with my own eyes and my own experience to really feel that what the hell, because I saw it and it was it was a difference like no other. So but then again, I do have an old hard drive as well, 1 terabyte, which I will also use. So I'm gonna have a 1 terabyte and 270, which is 250, which is more than plenty because I plan to stream, so having some storage on top will definitely work. But again, I'm not gonna try to overdo it. I'm gonna try to use that SSD card as much as I can because having a better performance, which is also a reason when I need to think about the GPU, because the rendering time, GPU can really cut it down. And today's GPUs have been quite significant in performance when comparing to CPUs. It's kind of weird, but if you overclock your CPU like Phantom 2 X4 and you actually really overclock like 4000 per core, then you start to realize that the newer CPUs, especially for AMD, can't really hold it that well on the performance, on the percentage. It's like it isn't there. So I'm pretty sure the Intel is the one that really gives the performance, but the problem with that one is that Intel is much higher in price, and I don't think I can actually afford myself an Intel as it is right now. Even with the support I have, I don't think I actually can go Intel. So that's the one company that I will have to leave. But Intel, especially from the reviews and the people talking about it, Intel tends to hold the candle right now, tends to hold the glory. But I like AMD because they were always, that price was just something else. So, ladies and gentlemen, just want to make it clear that again, as I mentioned, I've been actually having logos, and especially lately, I've actually put the logos out there to get retweeted, which was actually retweeted by a significant amount of people. But there seems to be not many leaks going on because there's not many people actually. Well, there is nobody actually asking me right now to make a logo for him. So it is what it is. I know that my work is not going to be attracting everybody. And I know everybody can have his own take on it, but I've been kind of hoping that I can do something, not just take, but just kind of do something in return. So generally, but I guess I'm gonna need to take some patience because that's what life is. It's a lot of patience. But I've been thinking, about the whole system, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the donation that was sent to me in this past days. Thank you very much, guys. Still. Tomorrow, Let's Play coming out. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And what else can I say? Well, I believe I pretty much covered it all. So, with that being said, stay healthy because that's the most important thing. Let me try to set up again. Yeah, I'm just looking so I know it's kind of done the video. So, take care. Peace.